What's going on, good people? It's your boy, Mr. Meyer, with the fire, here to share ideas and take our collective vibration up just a little bit higher. And today I want to talk about the full moon that we had yesterday. So we're doing a little something different retrospective analysis. We already went through this celestial event. However, everything is energy, and these are repercussions and waves and that ripple effect, that domino effect. So I want to talk about this full moon in Pisces, y'all. Shout out to my Virgo friends. We got the sun going through the sign of Virgo. This is harvest season, fall season, depending on which hemisphere you happen to be. So it's time to organize, time to work, time to, I would say, discipline. I love Virgo, so let me tell you about this, man. You got to understand Virgo to understand Pisces. And this is funny, weird, and kind of funny, haha. The best thing about Virgo energy, take it from someone with their ascendant here, is Virgo is about humiliation. Doesn't mean necessarily embarrassment, even though it could be, but Virgo is about refinement and taking something and breaking it down. Earth is like the totality and the objectivity, but then mutable is changing. So we change things in totality. Virgo is analytical and precise. That's the sixth sign, which deals with the last part of yourself. The first 6 houses are just you. The last 7 or 6 houses, 7 through 12 on top of the chart, like Libra through Pisces, that's about the world outside of you. So there's a natural opposition between Virgo and Pisces, okay? Virgo says, I serve, and then Pisces said, I believe. You're only going to serve something if you believe in it for the most part, or if you don't believe in it, you're just going to be doing it recklessly with abandon, escapism, delusion is the word, So Virgo is really great, man. And like I said, it's good about humiliating yourself, because being humble, taking yourself apart, realizing how you can grow. That's honestly the gift of the Virgo season. And every one of us has Virgo in our chart, so that's something to keep in mind. Virgo helps you improve yourself. Virgo helps you make changes, okay? In the lunar cycle, the full moon is all about the rhythm of the planet, and the tides and the cycles and the seeds planting and growing to fruition, blossoming, decaying, restarting. It's cyclical in nature. So the Pisces full moon, and I don't even like to say what I'm about to say because it sounds like bullshit. It sounds so fake, man. This is the most magical full moon of the year, and that's real, okay? Not only this, man, this year we do have Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Neptune is a slower orbit, so it'll be there for quite a minute. So it's double Pisces energy, man. Neptune is the modern ruler of that constellation. So again, I believe. What do I believe? Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, and it carries a little bit of every sign preceding it. So with Jupiter being the home or the ruling planet of this home sign, Pisces is all about understanding. Pisces is about disseminating the self and merging with the source of existence or creation. And we can get really lost in this discussion, quite honestly. And I'm not willing to get pedantic about this, quite honestly, because we don't need to crusade over belief, because that shit hasn't gotten us anywhere for a long time. So the thing about the Pisces full moon in your personal life, man, is this is going to culminate a cycle. The full moon is the peak before we start waning on down. Culminate a cycle within the house that you have Pisces. That's the first thing you want to think about. So if you know your ascendant, you can find it out. But I would say specifically, this is going to show you about your dreams and wish fulfillment and understanding of the world. Again, the axis of Virgo Pisces deals with service to the world, okay? I hope the background noises are getting caught. You hear that dog bark? Service to the world, okay? And you got to understand why you do what you do, because it's not what you're doing. It's why and how you do what you do that makes a world of a difference. I digress. What you do does matter, but everything is energy, so it's why you do what you do, okay? I have a lot of ideas, y'all, and I just really want to give you the most meaningful ones, man. Pay attention to how you feel this time of the year. Pisces, being the last and final sign of the zodiac, bridges us into the collective conscious at large, or the collective unconscious at large. This is spirituality on a broad level. That's what Jupiter really does. And quite honestly, man, I know we got a Neptune conjunction, but you can know everything you need to know for the most part about Pisces just by understanding Jupiter and the water element. This is really about learning, but it's more about the inner journey than the outside external journey. So when we're talking about the Pisces full moon, it's really important with this full moon and all others to look at your life and look at how you feel, because you have a moon sign. Your moon sign shows you your emotions and your internal instinctual reactions to your life. Also your subjective awareness, how you see on the inside, okay? So when the moon is full in any sign, generally speaking, we're supposed to be filled of emotions. No matter what, you will be filled with emotions. Like if you fill a cup all the way to the top, you have to dump that shit out to put more things in the cup, right? So this is the full moon every month, regardless of the sign, regardless of what you're doing. I just cannot emphasize this enough, man. I feel like I've been saying this for years and years. Pay attention to yourself in your life, man. Especially on full moon, look at how you feel. But in this one being Jupiter ruled, pay attention to your emotions, but pay attention to your beliefs right now. Pay attention to what you understand or what you don't understand. And with this being the final sign of the zodiac, a common theme for many people going through this lunar cycle and the next couple weeks is surrendering. You understand? After after the new moon in Virgo, which we already had a couple weeks ago, we've been consistently acting and taking deliberate steps to put our seeds down and water them and make sure they come to fruition. However, now that we've hit that first quarter, hit that second quarter, aka the full moon, and now we're about to wane back out to new, this is time for you to keep the pressure on, keep the consistency, but at the same time, let off the gas a little bit, okay? Especially with this being Pisces, man. Let go and let God. And again, I'm not about to have a semantics debate about these words. Jesus, take the fucking wheel, man. However you want to put it. You guys probably understand what I'm saying at this point. And if you don't, maybe you need to live more life. Simple as that, you know. And this is not a digression, man. Let me tell you about Jupiter, the ruler of Pisces. Jupiter helps you understand things. Jupiter, being the biggest planet full of gas, is how you take experience and expand it with meaning. Or how you expand meaning into your experiences. The same thing. So Jupiter shows you what you, I don't want to say know, but it's how you can extract a meaning and reason from your knowledge. So Jupiter literally, listen, derives the meaning of your life. So if you feel lost, out of place, despondent, depressed, anxious, nervous, lost, tune into Jupiter. Talk to Jupiter, man. You don't got to do a word I say, but, you know, if you never tried it, maybe it's worth looking into. Think about your Jupiter and its sign and house placement and the way it aspects your other planets, and look at how you derive meaning from your life, man. And deeper than this, y'all, my question for you, dealing with this Jupiter sign, is, do you make your past bigger than your future? Or do you make your future bigger than your past? And Jupiter rules my Pluto, y'all, so I have no will to continue if my past is bigger than my future. Jupiter says, let's go, let's expand, let's get some more, let's keep doing it. At the end of the day, man, we can go into a long existential crisis or debate because of this, but at the end of the day, man, it's all for the experience, it's all for the journey, it's all to understand why. And that why question, sometimes we don't get too much closer to the answer, you know, depending on where we're looking. So this kind of prompts us to go within and to reflect ourself back to our circumstance, and vice versa. If you can't know yourself, you can't know anything in the world, y'all. And these are the facts of the matter, quite literally. So Pisces is all about compassion. It's all about empathy and connection. We already talked about understanding probably a little bit too much, so I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But Pisces being the final sign in a water sign and mutable, it's great at adapting to its own emotions and the emotions of other people. So Pisces has ultimate empathy, okay? And when we talk about this axis of mutable earth, mutable water, meaningful service, this is the time right now for you to pay attention to your inner world, like I said, but pay attention to the external world. Pay attention to your 6th house. You're already doing this because the sun is in Virgo, just so you know. That's how Virgo season works every fucking year. Pardon my French. Regardless of what your 6th house sign is. So, pay attention to your 6th house. What does this mean, Mark? I'm glad you asked. This means look at how you're spending your time every day. Look at the responsibilities that you have. Look at how you serve people. Look at your job. Look at your routine, your schedule. How many people do you engage with on a day-to-day basis, and what is your interaction with them? Do you serve people in the ways that they truly need? Or do you make sacrifices that only lend themselves to illusionary success and sympathy for unnecessary suffering? I'm not sorry. You got to ask yourself these questions, please, so we can get on with a more appropriate and conducive and intentional life. The strong do not want sympathy. Take a deep breath, man. It's only the weak that want sympathy. And it's okay not to have an abundance of strength. It's okay to, lose that esoteric arm wrestle every now and then, okay? Pisces, being the last sign, does deal with our merging into the universe. And with our connection through this archetype being so deep, man, I wanted to say that priceless knowledge of self, one of my favorite astrologers says, wherever you got Pisces in your chart, you have that main line to the divine. And that's true. You all have this opposite your Virgo constellation. So with that understanding of the universe or the unconscious at large, there's generally a need to serve, because we can take on the feelings of the other people in our environment. There's a need to make things better. There's a need to improve others, man. But at the same time, you got to keep it real with yourself, man. Am I truly giving my energy in the most appropriate way? Am I using force appropriately? These are Mars questions also, man. And we could talk about it all day with the Mars or Mars in Gemini, Jupiter, Aries, We're not going to really talk about it too much today because these planets have been here since last time. Jupiter and Chiron and Aries. So a lot of us we're going to talk about it a little bit because I can't just bring it up and not say anything about it. This is about proper choice making, y'all. This is really why I said, are we being appropriate with our energy? Are we doing the things that makes the most sense to our understanding? Are we serving right? Are we making illusionary success? Pisces can talk about victimization, okay? Based on just the inherent suffering that everybody experiences in the world, the need to ease the pain of other people. This can bring us into willfully wanting to participate in healing, or if you box yourself off in negative beliefs, limited beliefs, distorted understanding, self-serving ideals, the Pisces energy is what makes you victimize other people. I'm trying to be really careful with my words right now, y'all. Obviously, it's like we're the one who makes choices in our life, but it's that motherfucking Pisces energy when we don't understand the meaning of our experiences that makes us live in a delusional ass world and makes our ideals self-serving rather than all-encompassing and benevolent, okay? Jupiter, the biggest planet, is called traditionally the greater benefic because it rules blessings and expansion and luck and meaning and optimism and growth. However, if you don't listen to Jupiter and you reject the experiences life gives you, you can't learn anything. If you can't learn, you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you're going to feel like, woe is me. Everybody's against me. Why the fuck isn't the things happening that I want? But it's your damn fault. Respectfully. Okay? So you got to make it make sense, man, during this lunar cycle with the Pisces full moon waning out to the Libra new moon. Okay? It's really important to be intentional with everything in the realm of your control so your intentions can manifest, okay? And we've been talking about this damn near every time I come on here when we get into the Chiron and Jupiter and Aries. It's like really time to be strong in the will. You don't know what you don't know, man. So you also need to be kind, compassionate, and gentle to yourself when you make mistakes by your own understanding. We all have different lives and different purposes and different meanings and experiences that we need to fulfill our journey in this life. So you have to keep your eyes on your own paper, man. If you listen too much to external validation or external influences, they may distract you from what's meant for you. But at the same time, man, if you get too far into your leadership, into your own vision, and you reject the accountability that the world offers you or external perspective, when you don't validate those external perspectives in any way, shape, and form, man, you might just be lost in your own sauce, man. And the fastest way to get to Pluto is through Mars, man. So it's like these transits we're going through, especially with the Aries, it's easy to burn yourself out through your passions and goals and motivations at this point because there's a lot more influence coming internally, not just through Pisces, but through Aries as well. I said we were going to talk about it later. Let me just repeat it, man. Aries, Jupiter, and Chiron has us feeling more self-willed, self-directed, self-motivated. This is take your own advice energy. So if you're listening to me, thank you so much, man, because generally speaking, a lot of people don't really need anyone to tell them what to do nowadays. With Jupiter being in Aries, the answers are coming from within. Arguably, they've always have, but at this time, you know, this is full speed ahead, especially with Mars in Gemini. Active nerves, active left brain, fast thoughts. This energy, keep in mind, if we got so much in Aries, we're pulling away from Libra in a way. So this can actually feel like the people in your life might be interrupting you or getting in your way or holding you back from your plans, you know? So it doesn't necessarily need to be that. Sometimes it literally will be that way. Sometimes that might be a reflection of attitude. And we might just need to make more conversations with people, or maybe share our perspective and our vision and give them some Jupiter so they know what our intentions are, so we don't end up stepping on each other's toes. You understand? So deeper than that, man, everything in the fucking world is retrograde. Probably even the moon and the sun. I kid, but at the same time, dude, half the planets are Michael Jackson moonwalking, dancing backwards across the celestial stage. And this means that things are slowing down a little bit, and individuation is here. What does that mean, Mark? It means it's time to peel back the layers of illusion to arrive at the origin. Who the fuck are you? I would sure like to know, and I'm sure you would too, because it's exhausting when the world tries to force an image about who you are down your fucking throat. Nah, know thyself, man. Peel back the layers of the illusion. This is about talking about the past, thinking about the past, man. Mercury retro started today, or last night rather. We've got Jupiter retrograde. We've got Chiron retrograde, Saturn, Pluto, Neptune. Half our planets are spinning backwards, man. So this is time for you to look for illusion, to make the right choices. I feel like this message repeats every time, but I would just want to encourage you guys with Mercury retro and Libra for the next roughly a month. This is the time for revision. And you may see this in your relationships and your contracts, your partnerships, but I would also say in certain projects as well. Maybe certain things that you tried out in the past that didn't work before, maybe now is the time where that shit might just work at this point, because you're going to be able to use that Libra cardinal air energy to balance it and organize it, construct those thoughts, then implement those things, okay? So make sure you're taking deliberate and consistent action on the things that you wish to manifest, man, because this is what Virgo energy talks about, quite literally. And this is funny, bro. Oh, I love this. So it's not showing in my chart calculator, but today with the sun at 18 Virgo, we got an in conjunction to Saturn in Aquarius. And this is what I'm telling you guys right now, man. If you feel confused, you feel out of place, you don't understand why you have the responsibilities that you have, or you don't understand why there's so much distance between where I am right now and where I want to be with my life, you have to keep it real with yourself, my friend, and ask yourself, what have I been doing with my motherfucking time? Have I been associating my idea with the right people? Have I been acting on it? Have I been getting in the right room, making the right investments, taking deliberate, consistent action, sequencing, implementing, and acting to make sure I can manifest? Or am I fucking off my time? Am I giving this to the wrong relationships, to the wrong job, the wrong vocation? Am I scrolling too much? Am I eating too much? These are the Virgo questions you got to ask yourself, man. And I would say you ask yourself, because as a Libra moon, I don't want anybody to feel upset or criticized. So use your Virgo gift to humiliate your damn self, okay? I'm a Virgo rising. I do this all the time without thinking about it. So that being said, I don't want to make y'all as hurt as I hurt myself through my vicious criticism and humiliation. This is how I grow and learn, but at the same time, man, you know, you get more flies with honey, and I've found I do better with positive reinforcement. A lot of y'all probably do too, man. So that being said, you tell yourself what you need to hear. But at the same time, you remember what we said about Jupiter? I don't know if I completed this thought, so let me bring it back. You see how Leo Mercury takes a non-linear approach through everything? And then right up back at the planetary ruler of the full moon that we're going through right now. So Jupiter is how we learn, and it's how we expand and how we experience. And this comes with a feeling of vastlessness or limitlessness or growth, okay? So the cool thing about Jupiter is, I kind of talked about this already, so we're bringing it back. Cool thing about Jupiter is meaning and growth and optimism and faith. The worst thing about Jupiter is rejecting learning. And that's as simple as it gets, quite honestly. But this would look like you refusing accountability, you kind of being nihilistic or cynical, or ignoring, that's negligence, ignoring your experiences, not paying attention, not caring, about what there is to learn and how to grow, the fucked up thing about Jupiter energy, whenever it's spinning retrograde, you could say, and that's not true, quite honestly. This isn't necessarily a Jupiter retrograde thing, but I'm trying to be like metaphorical. When Jupiter is afflicted, that's the better way to say it. When Jupiter is afflicted or needs to get its shit together, the problem is that you can't tell these people anything because they know everything already. They feel like they understand it all. And that's the most dangerous fucking attitude to have. Be careful with the ones who think they know everything, because they're a danger to themselves or others, because you cannot teach them. They can't change unless they choose to change or the world forces them to change. And again, if they don't want to, man, expect them to dig their fucking heels in and get a little weird or dangerous. So I'm not trying to spook you guys out, but it's just like, you gotta keep it real with yourself, man. You gotta keep it real. It doesn't matter where your fucking Jupiter is or which planets in your chart it rules. Keep it real with your goddamn self, man. But again, if you have planets ruled by Jupiter, you might have felt that message a little bit harder than everybody else, man. So deeper than this, man, it's not deeper. I think it's a little more surface level, but at the same time, I digress. We also have Venus in the sign of Virgo, and I like this, man. I haven't really told you guys about this because I've been out the loop, quite honestly. And if you guys see me disappear for a little bit, like Gunna said, man, if I go ghost and I don't post, it's going to be for a reason, man. I've been dealing with my healing and catching up on life, catching up on my work, making sure I'm good and everything. So a lot of transits have passed and things like that. But now that we have Venus in the sign of Virgo, this is great, man. And I want to let you guys know that this is considered to be the weakest place for Venus. But, pardon me. Venus can do really well here. And same with any planet in its detriment or fall, okay? You know how they say, they give the strong soldiers hard battles? That's kind of like a debilitated placement. So Venus rules our love and our connection and our relationships. Most importantly, the way that you inwardly relate to yourself. This builds every relationship outside of you. So Virgo, again, being the sign of humiliation and fixing and processing and routines and organization and service. Virgo Venus is perfect, you know? And that's a fleeting goal that doesn't actually exist to a lot of people's standards. There's no such thing as perfection. However, Virgo Venus really knows how to change things and make more beauty and more optimization and make more flow. That's the whole point of it. Virgo Venus is peace. If you guys look at the 9 of Pentacles in the traditional, I mean, technically any tarot deck, but the traditional tarot, the Rider-Waite-Smith, the 9 of Pentacles, this gives you a good idea of how Virgo Venus energy looks. It's a beautiful sunny garden. The bird just landed on my finger. The bird talked to me. I feel at peace. I'm dripping out. I'm swagged out. I got nice clothes. The garden is flourishing. That's Virgo Venus energy, quite honestly, man. Virgo Venus is like perfection. And there is no such thing as perfection. So let me tell you about this through my Virgo first house. I want you to understand that there's always changes we can make. But the thing about Virgo Venus is that it has such a complex understanding of process that it knows what to do, when to do it. And it can surrender to the outcome because it puts, listen, pressure on a system, not pressure on yourself. Okay? Don't say Mark never did anything for you, man. Those are gems right there, man. Put the pressure on a system. Don't put pressure on yourself, man. Pressure is going to do 2 things for you, man. It's going to make a diamond out of you, put you in that crucible and make something beautiful, or it's going to bust your shit up and break you. Okay? So realistically, you got to stop putting pressure on yourself. You know, if you don't, who will? Obviously, that makes sense. You need to motivate yourself. But at the same time, you got to organize your life so you can put the external influences onto the system. Okay? And then your life can just flow. Like, Virgo's a Mercury sign, y'all. Don't forget about that. Mercury is all about deduction, subtraction, analysis, logic. So the thing about Mercury, or the Virgo archetype, I would really want to say, is that when you have Virgo energy, this is about checking things and looking at the specifics and the details and organizing. And then once you do that, your whole life gets in check when you really just break things down into systematic approach. But let's talk about why this shit sucks, you know, why this is the fall. And at the same time, when you understand why this is a little bit challenging and you understand the reason for the positivity, it makes the challenge a little bit less detrimental. But the problem with this, man, is that Virgo rules the bowels, quite honestly, in the stomach, in the 6th house part of your body. So Venus is how we feel and what's going to bring us happiness and joy, or what we're going to be willing to compromise with. So when Virgo Venus is in transit of your natal chart, or it's transiting the 6th house or something like this, man, you may feel a little bit more critical and more nitpicky and less happy sometimes, man, because you want things to make more sense or be more practical or diligent. And with the themes of service coming up with Virgo, this means that we're probably spending a lot more time looking at our relationships, especially with this Mercury retrograde, okay? Making sure it makes practical sense, man. And on the other end, Venus exalts in Pisces, but this isn't always a good thing, man. Sometimes Venus Pisces people are delusional and self-sacrificing and escapist in their love and toxic in their love. So Virgo Venus, on the other hand, is like, oh, damn, I see the red flags a mile away, and those hurt my stomach. So I'm not willing to deal with that. But sometimes, man, a red flag could be a satin fucking tablecloth that y'all were going to have a romantic dinner together on, but you decided to go neglect it and run past it because you were scared and insecure about not having control over the little intricacies, man. And this is where Virgo Venus can get a little bit toxic, man. Is like, if you don't explain your expectations to other people, how the fuck are they going to meet them? You may create and perpetuate your own disappointments because of a feeling of inadequacy. And it's really you that's got to change. It doesn't have a damn thing to do with anybody else. So food for thought, man. Virgo Venus is real, man. This is about looking at the facts of your life and making sure you're on track and you're making sense, you know. And there's probably going to be conversations that need to be had in our relationships with this retrograde Venus ruled Mercury, aka Mercury in Libra retrograde. So conversations, man, don't make assumptions. When you make an assumption, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. You know what I'm saying? Like, write the word down. But word joke, you know. That's Mercury in a nutshell. So I love you guys. I could go on and on all day. I'll just leave you off with the Mercury ruled Mars, aka Mars in Gemini. What the fuck does this mean? Slow down, man. Please slow down, for the love of God. We got Mars in Gemini for the rest of the year, y'all, because of its retrograde cycle that we're going to hit pretty soon. So you got to slow down so you can speed up. With Mars in Gemini, this means that the nervous system is actually a little bit more active, fast, or feeling aggressive or passionate. And these are great, again, but when you don't have a system to put all this passion on, this is going to make you feel a little overstimulated. And you might feel like, oh my God, bro, where are all these thoughts coming down from? So I would really encourage you to make a practice to really sort through your ideas, act on the most important one. And in the process of sorting them out, you might do well to write them down in a journal. Or, dude, I'm telling you, I said this in the Mercury retro in Gemini this year. So it's worth a reminder. Go into your notes app and delete a bunch of clutter. Delete all the bullshit. Delete all the apps on your phone. Mercury, your third house is your phone. Delete all the bullshit off your phone. Clear your phone so you can save time through the day-to-day scrolling and activities, man. Remove the interference. Organize your notes app. Create folders. So when you have all these ideas and all this curiosity that's automatically going to come through Mercury, Mars and Gemini, write that shit down so you can get mental space, okay? And this will help you sequence, organize, and pardon me. I'm going to give you guys another gem, okay? Help you prioritize, sequence, and then implement. Do it in that order. Those three things, okay? And then your life will get automatically more productive, happy, exciting, conducive, present. You'll be participating. That's the work, man. But on top of this, guys, drive slow when it comes to Mercury ruling over Mars, aka Mars in Gemini. Drive slow, man. Mercury deals with our short-term travels. Our short-term travels, our communication, and how we go around our immediate environment. So you're going to see people driving a little bit faster, y'all. This is not necessarily a new ingress, so you've probably already been seeing this, man. People driving aggressively, people driving recklessly, doing dumb shit that endangers others, and that might be you also, so please slow down. I know you're frustrated and want to get home or want to get to the errands and your mental life is going faster than your body. Knight of Swords in reverse. Slow the fuck down, man, so you can actually make changes, because haste makes waste. Don't wait too long. Haste makes waste. Quite honestly, I didn't need to say don't wait too long. With this Mercury energy in the solar system right now, there ain't no time to fucking waste, man, especially with Jupiter in Aries. This is get up and go and implement energy. So at the same time, Jupiter's been there for a minute. So with half the planets going retro, slow down again. That's the energy. Is like you unconsciously probably want to speed up, but you're going to do that through slowing down. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it when we talk about our relationships with Libra. And on top of this, man, with the 3rd fucking house and Libra, stop picking at your skin. Just stop, you know? Take care of yourself and love yourself and share love with everybody else. But because we're talking about Pisces, man, you need to have appropriate limits on love, compassion, empathy, and conscience. Because listen, that's going to hurt somebody to hear this. But listen, man, think about the times in your life whenever you've invested in other people and they have deliberately chose not to share love, empathy, conscience, or compassion with you. These people don't know how to use these energies. No amount of your compassion is going to fix their negligence. And that's the sad, sorry truth, man. For Jupiter and Pisces in the 7th, it's sorry to me, man. But at the same time, if you really love and want to serve other people, you have to give the gift of accountability and let them know your problems are your problems, my problems are my problems, and I'm doing you a disservice by trying to take yours on as my own. I love you guys. Don't ever forget that shit at the end that I just said. I try to talk meaning in substance rather than just words, y'all. So if this meant something to you, this is the time when you should be hitting that like button, please. Leave me a comment. I love the engagement. I really cannot thank you guys enough for helping me get to a position where I can do this. Thank you so much, man. With me getting my head above the water, no pun intended, man, getting my healing to a point where I feel more energy, you will be seeing me more. And I know that's something you've heard before, and I guess arguably we're getting there, but you guys will see more of me. I got a lot of things in the works that I don't want to talk about. I'd rather show you. So stay tuned. I will see you guys soon.